Hello there. This is the story of the forgotten ones, the men of the people, the fan favorites, the times when God, Guru, Allah, whoever chooses to give these bad boys a taste of greatness. We're going to be talking about the greatest performances by random players in the history of the NBA. Because just like how a blind squirrel nuts every once in a while, even these bench warmers go out and put up a 50 piece as well. This video is dedicated for the guys who don't really get much love. The guys, like they're at the end of the bench, normally just waving his towel around, rallying the boys and whatnot, finally getting his shot to go out and put on a show. This is getting my juices flowing already. I better waistband that thing. Yet no one decides to talk about them. No love. Like why don't you guys talk about it, ESPN? Huh? But nah, they're too busy twerking for LeBron James. Starting off with none other than Corey Brewer's 51-point game versus the Rockets. Just another defensive masterclass for Mike D'Antoni and the Rockets. Their defense was so bad that night that they held Corey Brewer, a defensive guy, to 51 points. At this point, having a horrible D is routine for the Rockets and Mike D'Antoni, just like McDonald's making bad food. And please don't tell me you think Mickey D's makes good food. Yeah, okay, pal. Factory reset your taste buds, cause those burgers are atrocious. Try Shake Shack. Heck, get yourself some authentic Mexican food even, with Taco Bell. Anything, and I mean anything, other than Mickey D's. And if you still think McDonald's has good food, then we just gotta smile and nod our heads politely, everyone. Just smile and wave. We're witnessing a person with mental illness. That night though, even Brewer's teammates were in disbelief. My man over here just getting a layup after layup. Look at this steal. Gets going on the fast break. And trust me when I say this. If you're a teammate of Corey Brewer's and he's on a fast break, don't bother running with him. Do not run with him. Just stand back and watch him, just like the rest of us at home. Cause I put this on everything. Even on the Holy Spirit. That man is not passing you the ball. I promise you. I'm talking about he's like Tidy Whitey's the way he stops ball movement. And to make matters worse, on the day this man is having the game of his life, easy lay for 13, the Rockets decided to further disrespect this man. A man who's already doing y'all in with no consent, and you want to make it worse? I mean, do you guys love pain and misery? Might as well hit up EDP at that point and offer him a cupcake, because how do you have a white man guarding up on him? Like, has he not given you enough buckets to warrant some respect? Insulting. Easily gets 2 points on 4 white boys. Talk about a 5-some. And then head down, just jogs back on defense. Straight business. Like he's been here before. Not cheering, jumping up and down, doing jumping jacks or all that other stuff. Just straight back to D. Oop, and we're back at it again. Look at him running. Get him the ball. White boy in front of him. Say it with me. Barbecue chicken. He's out there headhunting these Ritz crackers. My boy was at war with the local trailer boys. Just lay after lay after lay. That white boy privilege is not going to help you boys out on the hardwood. But he was just going to the cup mashing square and 2K was messing with him that day. And he does all this while dribbling like he looks drunk. But it's working, so can't hate him. 2 seconds left, half court heat. Let it fly. Why not? Why the heck not? When it's your night, baby. Harden in his way, he ain't worried about little baby sugar daddy. Buckets had little baby ready to risk it all for a taste of Brewer's stroke game. Next up, in Bench Boys Gone Wild, we have the story of a night where the chef got outcooked. Yes, by a man who had such a performance that after that night, everyone, and I mean everyone, thought he was better than Curry. Every single armchair GM sitting on their couch was taking BJ over Curry. Imagine that. Out of all things that could have possibly destroyed Curry's career, from even his wife's cooking, to the time when Aisha was doing her best Jada Smith impersonation, to even having a wild donkey as a teammate. Yet out of all those things, the one thing that almost did him in was Brandon Jennings. It was that night that Brandon Jennings dropped a double nickel on the Warriors, the youngest player ever in history to have that many points at just 19 years old. While the rest of y'all were busy trying to pull threes off Tinder at 19, this man was scoring threes on the court. Man, the potential this boy had. And the fact that many people now won't ever really know about who this man was, it just really just rubs me the wrong way. His high school mixtape fed families. The godfather of all hoops mixtapes belongs to this man and John Wall. John Wall too. I'm not gonna forget. Don't think I forgot about you, John. He was out there crushing dreams of these high schoolers who really thought they had a chance to make it to the big leagues. After just one quarter on the hardwood with Mr. Jennings, he had these boys contemplating a career change. Every single one of them was hitting the books just a little bit harder after getting done in by Brandon Jennings. He just, walk up into your school, talk to the girls before the game, just a little chitter chatter, and then just come out and drop a cool 50 piece. Just something light, nothing too much. It's funny how even when they're wee little lads, NBA players put up numbers when there's a female with a lot of talent. And I mean, a lot of talent sitting courtside. It's like they just come pre-programmed with diabolical levels of thoughterry. The best way to describe this man's playstyle would have been like a play shot, aka a playmaking shot creator for those of you who don't know 2K, but a play shot with the exaggerated swagger of a black teen. And even though I've been meat riding Brandon Jennings, I still didn't think Daddy was going to have one of the better performances of all time during his rookie season. He really just injected life into Milwaukee and gave those fans a glimmer of hope before Giannis ever existed. Cross, behind the back. Whoop! Get your ass up, young fella. Had Curry right foot on red, left hand on yellow. I mean, the rest of the world had no goddamn idea what was in store for them that night. Lollygagging up the court. Pull up, nylon. And what the heck are y'all doing? Did you hit your head? You're choosing to go under the screen? This man is hotter than the sun's surface. And you're disrespecting him by going under the screen? What? After all that, still choosing to leave him as open as Will Smith's marriage. First NBA players with CTE, you seen it here. Show them the sun then, Jennings! Show them the sun then, baby! Unfortunately, he went from being Milwaukee's savior to absolute booty juice down the career. This honestly just shows you, though, that all you gotta have is confidence. Or be guarded by Curry. A side note to all us NBA guys, all the armchair GMs out there, what the heck were we thinking? No, actually, after watching this game, we should have known from the get-go that Curry was gonna be a traffic cone on defense. Even Stephen Hawking could have Eurostep past Curry and drop points on his head top. All while on a wheelchair. Eurostep on a wheelchair. How the heck does that? Just go with the flow. But anyways, we should have known. The clues were all there. As soon as you see on the whiteboard pre-game scouting report, Stephen Curry, draw a cone right next to him. Circle his name. You see Curry, you attack him every single time down the drain. Every single time down, cone, go after him. And that's what happened, in the rest of his career. Meanwhile, Milwaukee finally thought they had their Bambi, their savior. Had them thinking that he was single-handedly gonna save the city on his Batman. Look, even had Lil Timmy cheering with his mom in the stands. Just look at this. This man was out there bringing families closer. How can you not love it? In 2006, the Raptors drafted a guy by the name of Andre Bar... Who the heck? Oh, man. No way they drafted a man with the name that belongs to a soccer player. We all know how this story ends. They drafted a 7-foot European who was a sniper. Best way to describe him is that he's like the Tingus Pingus of Perk Nowinski's. Unfortunately, though, his career never really panned out because he cared more about the primo pasta sauce than he did about the game. But he spent more time in the kitchen trying to perfect his grandma's recipe than he did in practice trying to get his badges up. Had every Olive Garden in the country competing for his expertise. It still didn't stop him from having himself a game. I have no idea what type of timing the Italians were on, if they were trying to nuke us or whatever, but Super Mario started airing out Madison Square Garden on December 8th, 2010. Andre Bargnani's pasta linguine, Italian meatball ravioli, full of olive oil effing fingers, made the nylon sing as he put on a performance. Look at how they're defending this guy. Straight up fouling him, grabbing anything and everything, including his Italian sausage. Sheesh, if that's how defense is gonna play, yo, Sofia Vergara, guard up. 1s and 2s and we're going all the way to 100 points. My man had a blowout and the ultimate green light, putting on for all the Guidos out there. Look at that. In the post, with the double team waiting, he has options to pass, but with the hand in his face, double sprinting at him. this Italian spaghettio still chose to shoot that thing. Look at him, grown-ass man with little boys surrounding him out there, but he still found a way to put it in the hole. Straight Michael Jackson on them. Last Italian to take over Madison Square Garden since Frank Sinatra did. But can Frank Sinatra go chest to chest with the 245-pound Amari Stoudemire and still finish with contact? Didn't think so. And what the heck was so special about that night? Like, why did he choose that night out of any other night to put on a show? Well, his secret is his mother's cooking. To this man, his mom's spicy rigatoni is the equivalent to Jordan Poole having gutter bunny sitting courtside. Unstoppable. Can't blame him. That spicy rigatoni recipe, from what I heard, is passed down from generation to generation. That same rigatoni that had Judas heated when he missed out while Jesus and the boys feasted. And could you imagine being the coach that day and telling Bargnani, "Hey Bargnani, I know you're having a game today, but it's crunch time, so we're gonna need to sub you out." What? What? Are you kidding me? I'm Andrea Bargnani. Take me out of the game, you'll have an easier chance of using that expired condom you keep in your wallet, just in case, headass. Put the ball in my hands and let me take us to the promised land. Woo! Just imagine telling the opponents they were going up against a 7-foot Super Mario with 3-ball range. Who had that Mamba mentality? Yeah, pack 'em up. Unfortunately, though, Lunchbox Raymond Felton ended up hitting the game-winning 3 to beat the Raptors and Bargnani. Tough luck. Just imagine putting up a generational performance, right? Going off. I mean, he put on for his home country. Just at the end, to lose to a chubby cupcake at the last second? Oh man, life sucks. Still, the streets and all the Olive Gardens out there, don't forget them. They'll never forget the night that Super Mario was leashed out onto the city of New York. The next player, the next moment, whatever you want to call it, is about the time when Carmelo Anthony actually passed the ball. What? I know. Like, what? There's a higher chance that Katie combs his hair. But, in fact, Carmelo did pass the ball. And it's when Steve Novak decided to show us what it looked like if the typical white school shooter decided to take their shooting ability to the NBA. Steve Novak had MSG rocking back in 2012. The Aura was electrifying. Listen, I know some of y'all think, Knicks highlights? What? I gotta be real desperate, but just trust me on this one. That white boy was cooking. This was during the golden age, when you can say whatever the heck you wanted. McDonald's still had snack wraps. Gangnam Style had just dropped, something my boss hadn't done yet. But it's when this man decided to let Boston know who their daddy was. Had it looking like a modern day Boston Massacre out there. I mean, just look at this. 3 after 3 after 3. Also, what screams NBA more than a white role player with a dad bod having the ability to just make the nylon sing? I mean, it's just a fact at this point. I'm no math guy, but according to Newton's law, if you take a white guy and a basketball, then you plug that into the Pythagorean theorem, carry over the 1, make sure you round that to the nearest 100, divide that by x, don't forget to isolate the variable, take the derivative of all that, then multiply it by pi, which is 3.14. You get another white guy with the ability to straight up put the ball in the hoop. I'll never forget this game. I was in 8th grade. Me and my friends would just watch NBA games every Friday and order pizza. Being a fan of basketball in 2012 was amazing. J.R. Smith buzzer beaters, Steve Novak draining threes and whatnot. Man, I'd do anything to go back to those days. I'm literally smiling right now. I'm having so much fun. Just look at this dude. Hubba bubba. With how hot he is, he can cook up a hot pocket. Or whatever the quote people say. And I mean Boston. Like, come on, y'all. What y'all got going on? When you get cooked up by a white Caucasian who uses ketchup for hot sauce, you lose a little bit of respect from everyone. Look at even Melo. He's not used to this. He's thinking to himself, you said you'd pass it back? Nope. Woo! Let's see the Selly now. Let's see the Selly. Discount double check them, Novak. Hit him with it, Novak. That's a scary sight. And let me just put y'all on. If you ever run into a white boy, say, I just made a knuckle sandwich with your name on it, or come across a white boy hitting the discount double check on your noodle top, it's too late. Just ask the Bears. Time to go home And imagine being on the other side. Like, coach, this was not on the scouting report. No one mentioned anything about this. I mean, this is ridiculous. Now, my boy Steve Novak only had one performance like this in his career, sadly. But all I know is that in some other universe or dimension, Steve Novak probably has 6 rings right now, hella hoes, and that puts a smile on my face. You ever hear the expression F the ops? Well, a young prodigy by the name of Michael Carter Williams took that to heart when he went up against the Miami Heatles. At that time, the Heat were the single most hated team in the NBA. Even Lil Pookie Bear was known as a villain. I mean, think about it. Coming off the back-to-back championships, they had the league in a chokehold. Everything ran through those boys. And during the time when the champions were celebrating all their success, this young man took it upon himself to turn into a young Chris Smoove and play the role of spoiler. This man, MCW, dropped 22 points, 7 boards, 12 dimes, and 9 steals for the win. Did you get that? I said 9 steals. Are you kidding me? I think LiAngelo Ball just found his spirit animal. This man almost had a quadruple double in his first ever NBA game. Unfortunately, he ended up being like the Roddy Ricch of the NBA, as his career just never really picked up after that. And I feel like being a Philadelphia fan exists just to see how far you can push a human being before they break. Like, Philly fans have it tough. Look at this steal, taking it all the way for your first NBA points, got the boys all fired up. Oof! Oof! Chest bumps all around. Braun making a business decision and not jumping with a young fella. I mean, ask yourself, is it worth having another man's balls in your mouth? No. So I can't really give Braun too much for that. Quick little shout out to another man in this game, Spencer Hawes. Yes, cause that boy was stroking it all night long. MCW gets 12 assists thanks to him. Or even more importantly, Philly doesn't pull off the upset without that man. One-legged floater for the big man? Leaving Hawes open now? What do you think? I'm not going to even bother with that. The big man with the block too? And now the unstoppable 2-man game between them. I mean, your only chance is hoping Martians shoot the stadium up, cause you ain't stopping the duo. They're back at it again. And I thought I warned you already. You ain't stopping this, little boy. Hawes was ripping them apart all night with a Cash Nasty release. Cash Money with it too. Helping MCW put up a performance so good that it made him enough money to help feed his kids for generations. You thought he's better hurry up and slide in this man's DMs and finally get yourself a bag. The single greatest debut of all time. My man had 1 Gatorade boost on all stats and chose to use it right away. One-hander? Going up to the 10th floor to get it? Odell Beckham Jr. Welcome to the league, young buck. And with the game hanging in the balance, the young nut had one more in him. With the ball in the hands of none other than LeBron James. LeBron starts smelling blood and sizes up Spencer Hawes, taking him straight to the rim. MCW comes out of nowhere and takes LeBron's lunch money. Woo! Look at Coach Spo's face here. This is what it looks like to F around and find out. He doesn't know what hit him. Even had Braun speechless. This man ended up stepping onto the hardwood. Opening night, poor little Timmy saved up all his allowance money just to watch his team get walked down by a rookie. Also, if you haven't been paying attention already, look at when some of these 50-point games took place. During the prison ball era of the NBA, aka 2000s, or the early 2010s. Just like the next one from Andre Miller. Why the heck am I even talking about this? Cause he dropped 50 points when 50 points actually meant something. Nowadays, every night is like a goddamn career night in the NBA. Random bozos out here dropping 50 points left and right. And because of that, dropping 50 points today, it's like the new 30 piece. It just doesn't mean as much. Like back in the day, if you averaged 21 points per game, you were kind of like that Starbucks Stanley Cup that dropped. You know which one I'm talking about? The one that had all the gutter bunnies fiending? They were out there camping as if the cure for cancer had dropped. Same thing with scorers back in the day. Everyone wanted them. They built teams around players like that. Nowadays, if you average 21 points per game, boy, please. I hope you like dumplings, because you're going to be playing in China, my dude. Now, there are reasons for all this high scoring, though. Like, the league is starting to play like how we play on 2K. Spacing, shooting threes and whatnot. However, there's more to it than just that. Back in the day, refs absolutely enjoyed calling stuff against the offense. like offensive fouls and whatnot. I mean, look at the enjoyment this man has. To be spinning his arm like that fast and hard? Relax, my boy, you might overheat. These zebras were out there skipping. And I mean skipping when they called travels. Look at these guys. That's the same skip you see from Zion when he's at a buffet. There's no reason for you to be this happy, my guy. I mean, it could have also been the Snow White, though. Because I know in the 80s and 90s, there was a bit of a coke problem. Either way, the offense got away with a lot less compared to what they do now. And because of all that, all those rules, even the great Kendrick Perkins could have probably averaged like 15 to 20 points per game. Maybe not Kendrick Perkins, but you get what I mean. It's just not as fun or exciting if someone drops 70 points now. It just means a lot less. Still great, but a lot less. So, like, when we have Richard Pryor dropping 52 in 2010, masterpiece. And that boy did it with just straight post hookies, layups, and only 1 3. I'm telling you, it just meant more back in the day. My man was just so unathletic, really, really slow, wasn't tall, couldn't jump. Kind of like myself, as I'm the Andre Miller of my school. Even with all that though, he still got it done. Definition of old man game. Spamming up and unders for days. He kind of reminds me of that old man who hoops at the YMCA. But the difference is that this one effed around and made it to the big leagues. And you can't even hate on the OG, as he had a great career in the NBA. All with a bad back, old man strength, and one ugly ass jumper. Now we have the game when Saddiq Bey dropped 51 on the Magic. Most of y'all only know him as Saddiq Release 1 for your jumpers on 2K. And I can't even lie, he was fixing my player's broke ass jumper too. It was straight chicken. That Saddiq Release 1 Oscar Robertson Release 2, ooh, that thing fed families. But this man is more than just a jump shot release. Now, for the next part, just hear me out, alright? I know it's gonna sound as fake as me telling y'all like, that Draymond stopped getting on his knees for LeBron, but you just gotta trust me. Just hear me out. This man, Saddiq Bey, not only dropped 51 points, but he helped the Pistons finally win a game. Yes! After years and years of catching L's, even more L's than Will and Jada Smith combined. This man, Saddiq Bey, finally relieved the Pistons of this curse. To all the Pistons fans that day, Bey was like a knight in shining armor. Or maybe it was just that bright glare from Jada's bald head. Either way, this man was out there putting on for Motor City. And he was feeling himself. 7-footer on him, hand in his face. He doesn't care. What else is he supposed to do? Pass to Marvin Bagley? Look at him, grabbing the rebound and just flooring that. Oof, and one. Get off me, little boy. Bobbing and weaving past the defense just like Jada's wig collection. Alright. I'm just messing around. I need to chill off the Will Smith and Jada Smith jokes. But it was just this man's turn to D down the Magic, aka the NBA's neighborhood thotty. I don't know if you guys have noticed this as well, but the Magic are always getting cooked. Just always on the receiving end. For like every player's TikTok edit, it's usually the Magic on the other end, helplessly just taking the strokes. Every player's career game, highlight plays, it'll be the Orlando Magic. And they're from Florida? Is that just a coincidence or am I onto something? I don't know. Either way, if you can lead the Pistons to a win, you know you're destined for greatness. And helping the lowly Pistons get a win, you'd expect a key to the city or naming a street after you, but nah. Instead, the Pistons decided to get rid of this guy. Like what? So what you're telling me is that you have a roster full of a bunch of other scrubs, and y'all thought trading Saddiq away was gonna help? Make it make sense. Who's running the team? Scotty Barnes acoustic guy? Now instead, Bey's over here in ATL catching lobs from a dirty lollipop. Exhibit A. This Flight Reacts lookalike sunned the Clippers so hard, it looked like he was running a daycare out there. Salute to one of the greatest 2K players of all time as well. Maybe even took over Gerald Green's spot? If you know, you know. But Terrence Ross. When this man's My Team card dropped, ooh man. 2K had every kid running out there to get a piece like a white van pushing candy. Terrence Ross was the first player who averaged 10 points per game to drop 50 points when he did it against the Clippers, aka the NBA's WNBA team. I don't know why, but But it seems like everyone sees the Clippers as their fleshlight, and they just take turns beating it, while the Clippers just sadly take the strokes. On this day, it was T. Ross's turn to give that fleshlight some work. He just simply went out there and broke the goddamn game. It's like God himself ascended from the heavens and decided to give it a go on the hardwood. Just look at this. Terrence Ross was the original never swing the rock guy, the OG Michael Porter Jr. Wide open teammate begging for the ball. He must have never gotten the memo. They had JJ Redick trying to guard him? That's not fair. That's like asking a melanated brother to not buy a Hellcat. It's not happening. To be fair though, they could have had Boban standing in front of him that night. That boy wasn't missing it. Quarter winding down, sizing up his prey, chucks that joint effing green. Just straight water. Walking back like the king. Look at how happy these Canadians are. Acting like they just seen Drake's full leaked video for the first time. Did he just steal the ball from his teammate? That boy was out there channeling his inner Kobe. Yeah, that boy was seeing red that night. Unfortunately, he had a chance to break the Raptors scoring record that night when he went up to the free throw line at the end of the game. But then, he Amber Hearded himself and missed. Oh man, I'm not going to let that take away from the masterpiece though. He still went out there and spanked the Clippers. Not spanked. He went out there and slapped them harder than Will Smith slapped Chris Rock for making fun of Pitbull. Show me your ways, Ross. Show me your ways. The next one is like a walking 2K storyline. Just a wholesome story. It was when a 32-year-old made his debut as a Laker one night. At 32 years old, he played his first NBA game. My man was a rookie and the vet. How the heck does that even happen though? Story goes, Brandon Ingram was trying to get a job for his uncle, so he hit up Magic like, "Hey yo, Magic, my uncle needs a job." So Magic was like, "Say no more, fam." And this was also like in the dark ages of the Lakers. Back in 2018, they were so down bad, they had to bring in a G League veteran to help the team out. Look at his jumper. It looks like he's trying to get rid of a bomb every time he shoots the basketball. And he's getting green light annies in real life? Ain't no way. But this man's story was so viral though, the entire world was talking about him. For a guy to play in his first NBA game at 32 years old and just come out and drop a 19-piece with green light annies? Goated. Absolutely goated. Almost sounds fake. Just think about that. To be in your goddamn 30s. For it to be your first game, and you do all that? Kobe, quit playing. We know it's you, fool. While he was in the G League fighting for a spot in the NBA, this man had a job on the side too. Unc was a math tutor scraping by while waiting for the phone to ring to let him know his dreams finally came true. Imagine just turning on the Lakers game and you see your goddamn tutor balling out. And you know what's crazy about him being a tutor? Is that 30 years from now, the kids are going to use this to say LeBron played against math tutors. The same way we say Wilt played against milkmen, or that we're done with the 90s because, Jordan has no left hand and he's going up against a post office man, they're going to do the same thing to us. Unfortunately for my dog, even though he had 55% from 3, they still sent his ass down after the season ended. Respect, though, to Andre Ingram finally making it to the league. Now, don't get a Kardashian pregnant. Out of all the freaks in the NBA, there's only one that makes the rest of the NBA pause and think to themselves, what the and that's the Serbian Wilt Chamberlain Boban Marjanovic. Like, holy! Standing at 7'4" at 350 pounds. Boys, that's not normal in any galaxy. This is the type of thing that Flight would normally believe. But call me Kyrie, cause I'm not ruling that conspiracy out for this big boy. The reason this man rocks number 51 on his jersey is to represent the area he broke out of, Area 51. Cause there's no explanation for this malarkey. I feel like the size of this man's rubber is bigger than the size of some grown men. Is that so crazy to say? Cause my man radiates big dick energy. He has the Drake type of gifts. God built him like a skyscraper, gave him the face of Abraham Lincoln and the personality of Keanu Reeves. And with all that, I can't speak for all of y'all, but I stand this 7-foot Lincoln. And really quick, but 7'4", huh? Who are you trying to fool, Bobby? Huh? Tingus Pingus is listed at 7'3", and you're only 1 inch taller? I don't know, man. That seems like at the very least a 2-inch difference, Bobby. And that's coming from a guy who's measured 2 inches many times in his life. Out of all the players in the NBA, this is the only one that will even make the likes of Wemby and like Shaq pump fake. Because if you try to go up on him, not only are you going to feel restarted, but he's going to send that flying. His blocks sound like the gorillas hitting the exhibit glass pounding to get out. Oh yeah. And he's more than just a basketball player. This man has the acting chops that will put Tom Hanks to shame. Has Hollywood and the NBA fighting for his talents. Whoa, what the heck was that? Even when he falls, it's like he's going down in sections. Look at the two freaks wrestling with each other. Turn the NBA into like a baby alien type of movie. I know Dwight wishes he was in the middle. Can't even hate though. Would do despicable things to be that ball right now. But from the very day he entered the NBA, this giant stole everyone's hearts. And it was on March 11, 2020, the day before the panoramic shut the league down. This man decided to pull out his big old sack and just drop it on the league's head. Boom! This man dropped 31 points and 17 rebounds versus the Nugs. What's fair about this, huh? Like, what is fair about a lighthouse Euro stepping past your defense? No, but like, I'm being dead ass. Whose smartass idea was it to let Daddy Longlegs terrorize the rest of the league? He's making the rest of the league look like a bunch of Beetlejuices just running out there. And supposedly, this man's dad is 5'9". Yet Bobby's 7'4"? The math ain't mathing. Someone check how tall their mailman is. It's like they trained a giraffe how to get down on the block and shoot post hooks. How the heck do you even stop Boban? Wait, I may have an idea. Alright, so first off, the game plan has to... Are you serious? Did you really think I was going to tell you guys how to stop this man? You really think there's an answer for this? If you're going up against Boban, it's already over. Your fate's already been decided. It's his choice on what he wants to do out there. And don't get me wrong, teams have definitely tried different things to stop him. They tried. It didn't work though. Like for example, playing him more physical than Bill Cosby after he slides over that special juice. He still effed around and sunned them. Had Dallas looking like a daycare. And look at him going for seconds too. DJ Khaled knows all about that. I still can't believe that John Wick killed this man with a book. Like, is that what it's going to take for us to stop this man? Look, even had the owner doing tricks on it. And coach over here yelling at his players. What? Are you serious? How was your CTE acting up, coach? You ain't even play football. Why don't you go out there and stop this? Oh wait, we finally got to stop against these. No, we don't. No. Whoa. Picked them clean. Let's go, Bobby. Whoa. Show these boys who daddy is.